Shuri works in her lab, making a solid attempt to make a counterfeit heart-molded spice to use for her sibling and Wakanda's best, T'Challa, who is passing on from a sickness. Ramonda gradually strolls into the lab, declaring the ruler's passing. After a year, Wakanda is experiencing difficulty with different countries needing their vibranium. The Dora Milaje discover French military men attempting to take from their station. Afterward, Ramonda converses with the unified countries and uncovers the French's endeavor to take. She reminds the nations that despite the fact that the Dark Jaguar is gone, they will in any case battle. At a mining station, Americans mine in the sea utilizing a vibranium identifier that was made by MIT understudy, Riri Williams. They utilize this to find vibranium in the sea. Out of nowhere they go under assault by Talakanals who don't need them taking their vibranium. The final helicopter of survivors is struck somewhere near Namor. In Wakanda, Ramonda and Shuri go to the water and grieve the year since T'Challa's passing. They consume their memorial service articles of clothing to connote the finish of the grieving time frame, regardless of Shuri not being totally prepared for this. Namor then, at that point, shows up, traversing the boundary by going under the water. He uncovers to them the presence of Talokan and believes their assistance should prevent outsiders from taking vibranium. He additionally makes sense of that Wakanda isn't the main spot that is vibranium, Talokan has it as well. Ramonda reprimands him, stressed of his presence. He lets them know he will kill the researcher who created the machine and that they can help him, however they can't impede him. Shuri and Okoye go to meet Everett Ross, who gives them the name and area of the youthful researcher, regardless of potentially offering private data. Okoye and Shuri then go to Cambridge, Massachusetts to track down Williams. They follow her to her carport where she uncovers that she is dealing with an Iron Man-type defensive layer. Be that as it may, they are trailed by the FBI. The three move away, Okoye in a vehicle, Shuri in a bike, and Williams in her shield. Abruptly, they are met by Talakanals, Atuma, and Namora. A short engagement closes in Shuri and Williams getting caught. Ross shows up at the scene the following day and meets with his ex, Valentina Allegra de Fontaine. He likewise tracks down Kimoyo Dabs and conceals them. In Wakanda, Amadan sovereign Ramonda criticizes Okoye for losing Shuri, which is exacerbated by past occurrences, for example, when she apparently favored Killmonger when he usurped the high position, and flames her from her situation as broad. Shuri and Williams awaken in Talokan. Namor shows Shuri the human advancement, attempting to persuade her regarding his goals, in any event, giving her his mom's wristband. In any case, she differs in killing Williams. In the interim, Ramonda goes to Haiti to see Nakia, who had left Wakanda 6 years earlier. She requests that Nakia track down Shuri for her. Nakia does a few spying and sorts out the area. She then breaks Williams and Shuri out as Ramonda converses with Namor about his arrangement. They return to Wakanda, however just for additional torture as Namor and his kin attack. They flood the city causing a hard and fast conflict. Namor deals with all of the Wakandan vehicles prior to flooding the royal chamber holding Ramonda and Williams. Williams begins suffocating, so Ramonda swims to save her. She can get Williams to somewhere safe and secure, however just to suffocate all the while. Shuri grieves her mom's passing as Namor tells her she is sovereign at this point. He and his kin then leave the country. In the interim, Allegra de Fontaine figures out that Ross has been speaking with Wakanda this entire time and has him captured. M'Baku converses with Shuri after the memorial service and gives her ethical judgment that she shouldn't kill Namor. He then, at that point, tells her he will give lodging to the dislodged Wakandans following the assault. Shuri then utilizes Namor's mom's wristband to make the fake heart-formed spice which at last works. She goes to the astral plane subsequent to taking it and is welcomed by Eric Killmonger, who claims they are something similar. They contend a peace before Shuri claims she will kill Namor out of retribution. Shuri awakens and makes herself a suit. She then drops into a gathering among M'Baku and the elderly folks as the Dark Jaguar. In arrangement of the fight, Shuri and Williams understand that they could debilitate Namor by warming his body up to where it can't get oxygen. They then, at that point, make a second Ironheart defensive layer. Shuri gives Okoye new covering, acting similar as Iron Man's also, called the 12 PM Holy Messengers. Okoye initiates Sonika to be separated of her two-lady group. In the sea, they utilize a vessel to bait the Talakanals into a snare. The fight begins as Namor appears to acquire the upper hand. Nonetheless, Dark Jaguar traps him in an Imperial Claw contender as they remove off from the fight. In the meantime, the Dora Milaje battle the Talakanals on the vessel while the Jabari clan, Nakia, and the others fight the ones on top. Ironheart and the 12 p.m. Heavenly Messengers deal with the airborne Talakanals. Dark Puma warms up the Imperial Claw Warrior, debilitating Namor, yet he starts to break out with his lance. Dark Jaguar shoots an impact from her vibranium gloves which detonates the entire boat, sending the two enemies into the island beneath. The two battle some more until Namor pierces Shuri. Nonetheless, rather than polishing her off, he is more stressed over getting to the water before he passes on. A harmed Dark Puma breaks free and gets before the limping Namor. She then, at that point, shouts Wakanda for eternity as she protective layers up, sending an impact from the detonating claw contender into Namor. He is set burning as he falls. She remains over him to polish him off, however recalls her sibling, T'Challa. With these recollections of the man he was, she chooses to save Namor's life the same length as he gets back to Talokan. Namor has appreciation for the Dark Jaguar and joins her as they return to the battle scene and advise everybody to quit battling. Yet again Dark Puma then, at that point, shouts Wakanda until the end of time as the rest rehash it back. In the fallout, Williams gets back to MIT without her defensive layer as the Wakandans need no contention with letting her keep it. Shuri leaves for Haiti as opposed to trying for the lofty position, which at last is tested by M'Baku. Afterward, Namor paints in his room as Atuma welcomes him. Namor guarantees her that their new union with Wakanda will be advantageous. While heading to jail, Okoye breaks Ross out of authority. In Haiti, Shuri meets with Nakia prior to leaving for the ocean side where she consumes her memorial service stylized robe in understanding to Ramonda's desires, permitting her to lament T'Challa at last. In a mid-credits scene, Shuri discovers that Nakia and T'Challa have a child, Toussaint, who Nakia has been bringing up covertly distant from the strain of the high position. Toussaint uncovers his Wakandan name as T'Challa.